Now that we have all of the notes and rests entered into our score, we can begin to add the text. Since this is a score for organ, I need to make sure that I write down which stops need to be pulled at the beginning of the score. And therefore, I need to write this text into the score. So to add text to the score, find the text entry tool, make sure that it is highlighted, and now anywhere you click on the score, you can simply type and some words will appear. The first thing that I would like to do is to change the font. So I will go into the Modify menu and find the font and Show Fonts. You can also show the fonts using the Command T shortcut. And now I would like to select the font Optima and I will keep it at a size 12. And now I can type in my stop names here. Now that I've entered all my texts, I would like to align them vertically. To do this, first you need to select the text that you would like to align, and you can select multiple text by using the Shift key. And make sure that you have selected the control point, and you can see this green dot on the upper right corner of the text is actually the control point for the text. And once you know that you have the control point selected, you can go into the Format menu and select Align Vertical. And now you can see that all of those texts are aligned on the vertical axis. And now I will go ahead and do this with the rest of my text. And just a note that sometimes you might accidentally select some notes when you are trying to align the text vertically because you accidentally select a control point for one of the notes. The best thing to do in this situation is simply to move the text box further away from the notes so that you can select it without selecting the other notes. And now I have all of my texts aligned. The next thing that I would like to do is to add in a tempo. To do this, simply go to the Tools menu and find the Text Library tool. This tool shows not only tempo, but other text that you can enter into the score anywhere that's sort of predefined. But for now, I would like to enter a tempo. So I will find the quarter equals 60 and select this. Make sure that my cursor is in the right place in the score where I would like to enter this information. And then I will select Enter this text into the score. And now I will adjust the location of the text that I have just entered. Now this is selected from a library, but it is a text object, so you can actually go in and change it. So for example, if I want to change this to quarter equals 80, I can do that, no problem. And because this is using a Scriabin font, if I would like to change the quarter note to an eighth note so that it's actually eighth note equals 60, I simply erase the quarter note and press an E. But now I will change it back to quarter equals 60. Finally, I need to add in some timing markers and then my title to complete the first 2 pages of this score. Now I'm going to enter some timing markers into my score. The first timing marker I will add into measure 6. So to do this, I will click and I will enter some text of 120. And then I will change the font to be slightly bigger and bold so that it can be seen. So 14-point bold font. Now that I have my timing indicator entered, I would like to add a box around it to make it even more visible. So I will go into the Modify menu, and under Text, I will select Add Remove Frame. And this will add a box around this text image. And now since I know I need a second timing marker at the beginning of page 2, I will copy this. I will paste it into the beginning of page 2. And I will just change the timing to what I need. And now I have my timing markers entered. And finally, I will add a title to this piece. To do this, I will simply add another text box, type in the title, and then I will change the font to my desired font size and type. Now that I have this title, I can just arrange it on the page where I like it. Now there is a feature to center text on page in Notability, and that is if you select a text box and go into the text menu, there's an option to center it on the page, but I don't like my titles in the center, so I'm going to leave it on the right-hand side of the page. And now we have successfully replicated 2 pages of a score. As we look at the score, however, we can notice a couple small details that we can change really quick. And for example, if you look at some of the 16th note patterns, they are very, very close together and colliding. And to adjust these, you can simply move the notes individually by selecting them and moving them to the left or right using the arrow keys. And the other thing that you can do is to simply adjust the blue lines at the top of each system to actually move the beats around in the measure to expand or contract the beats or change the size of the measures themselves. You also might want to change the staff spacing manually. And so to do this, you can simply find the blue line at the bottom of each staff and click and drag it to move it around if you would like to give more space. Now, if you notice that when you move a staff around, for example, and then you go back into the staff spacing tool and select load spacing, it will actually reflect the changes that you've made. So you can also do this to manually adjust the staves and find a spacing that you would like and then set it this way also.